Okay, before we get started with an actual how-to on dry brushing, I just wanted to take a couple of minutes and talk about the lymphatic system because it really is the target of this technique. The lymphatic system really is essentially the sewage system for the body at the cellular level. And so all of our trillions of cells are constantly in the process of doing their work. And in the course of that work, they're producing all kinds of metabolic waste products. And under normal, healthy circumstances, those waste products diffuse out of the cells and into the lymph circulation where they are carried to the point where they can be excreted by the body. And then the other thing that the lymphatic system does that's very important is it is an important site, a key site of activity of the immune system. And so the immune system is especially active in the lymph nodes, which are these little bulbs or kind of wide spots in the river that are depicted in the green part of this diagram to the right. The problem is that lymph circulation very easily becomes stagnant. And the reason for this is that unlike our blood circulation that has a very efficient, effective, strong pump behind it in the form of our heart, the lymph circulation really doesn't have a pump. The lymph circulation depends on the contraction and relaxation of our skeletal muscles as we move and the movement of the diaphragm as we breathe. And just the bending and twisting and turning that goes along with a normal, healthy, active lifestyle. The problem is that lots of us these days are not particularly active. And so the circulation of lymph through our lymph circulation becomes stagnant, and that results in the accumulation of fluid in the tissues, which is the way, so this leg on the left is a leg that's affected by edema, which is the accumulation of fluid in the tissues because it's not being picked up and carried away by the lymph circulation. When the lymph circulation is not working the way that it should be, then our immune system is not able to effectively keep track of invaders around different parts of our body and not able to effectively monitor and neutralize any sort of pathogens we might be coming into contact with. And then when the lymph circulation is not working effectively, we also get the accumulation of these metabolic waste products in the tissues. And so the sewage system isn't working, and so then the whole body in a sense becomes sort of saturated with toxins. And so what can we do to encourage the circulation of lymph? We can exercise. Even mild forms of physical activity are very beneficial when it comes to lymph circulation. So things like walking or gentle bouncing on a rebounder or the twisting and bending motions associated with yoga. One of the reasons that those motions are so beneficial is because they facilitate the movement of lymph. Elevating legs helps especially for the lymph circulation in the lower extremities to work more efficiently. So abdominal breathing, meaning the making full use of the diaphragm as we're drawing breath down deep into our belly. The movement of the diaphragm sort of has a bellows action of helping to facilitate the movement of lymph in our torso. There are a few different massage techniques that are specifically geared toward moving lymph, particularly a very special Chinese technique called gua sha. And then the other thing that's very beneficial for encouraging lymph circulation is dry brushing, which is the topic of this video. So benefits of dry brushing: it moves lymph, as we've just been discussing. It improves the health and the appearance of the skin just by removing old dead skin cells, by increasing the blood circulation to the skin and just kind of invigorating the skin. It helps to diminish the appearance of cellulite and scars. From a Chinese medicine point of view, there is a very close connection between the skin and the lymph system and the immune system and the lungs. And so from a Chinese medicine point of view, daily dry skin brushing benefits the function of the lungs. and it's just invigorating. It feels good. I always really look forward to my daily skin brushing. It makes me feel awake and alive. I do it first thing in the morning before I get in the shower each day. And so tools for dry skin brushing, you want to get a brush that has natural fibers. So most commonly you find them with sisal fibers. I really find that the brushes with handles are more trouble than they're worth. A lot of the area where lymph has a tendency to sort of get hung up in the body or in the little kind of cracks and creases and crevices of the body. And so a small brush that's just about the size and shape of your palm really works best. If it's got a big handle coming off the side of it, then I find that that just gets in the way. And I also find that those handles are really not particularly well suited to being able to use the brush on your back anyway. So I recommend just getting a small brush like this. It's the type that we carry here in my clinic. But certainly if you want to use a brush with a handle, that's okay too. An essential oil, I typically will use essential oil when I do my dry skin brushing. I just use a drop or two of it. It's not essential. I just find that it adds a little bit of an extra sort of aromatherapy touch to the process and makes it extra pleasant for me. There are a number of different blends on the market that are intended for facilitating lymph circulation. Most of them contain some combination of cypress, basil, marjoram, ginger, peppermint, citrus oils, including things like grapefruit, lavender, and some other ingredients. We really like a blend that we get from our friends and colleagues in Denver, Colorado, the Yao Clinic. They make a blend called the Lymph Tonic, which I really enjoy. Another blend that would be well suited to this technique is the doTERRA Aroma Touch blend. But like I say, it's not absolutely essential, and you'll just be using a drop or two of it. Contraindications for dry brushing include any type of broken skin or rashes. If you've got very large or prominent varicose veins, then you're definitely going to want to avoid those areas of the body. If you've got any kind of infection on your skin, and so that would include things like warts, athlete's foot, those sorts of things, you're going to definitely want to steer way away from those parts of your skin as you're brushing, because there's really no way for you to sanitize or sterilize your dry brush. And at least in theory, brushing over areas where you have warts or other infections could end up spreading those infections to other parts of your body, and you don't want that to happen. And then just ask your physician first if you have any type of lymphedema, if you've got cancer, or if you have any other serious illness. So just check with your doctor first. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you a video sort of demonstration of dry skin brushing. But one thing to note is that this is a technique that you're going to want to do in your bathroom right before you get in the shower over bare skin. So, of course, I'm clothed in this video, but you'll just have to imagine doing this technique against your bare skin. And like I say, you want to just do it right before you hop in the shower, because dry brushing is going to knock a lot of skin cells loose, and you'll want to be able to just get in the shower and rinse those off as soon as you are finished. So in the areas of the video where I'm brushing over clothing, then that you would be doing against bare skin. Okay, so stay tuned for the video demonstration. Okay, let's get started. If you're using an essential oil, just put a drop or two in the palm of your hand and then massage your brush into the palm to evenly distribute the oil on your brush bristles. Start with either foot. Work in those nooks and crannies around your ankle bones, which is an area that lymph can definitely accumulate, and then proceed up into longer strokes in your lower legs, all the way around your leg, then up into your thigh. Extra attention on the backs of the thighs, the buttocks, the inner thighs. Dry brushing can definitely have a beneficial effect on the appearance of cellulite, so spend some extra time here. Then also extra attention in the groin. This tends to be an area where you can kind of get a dam in the river as far as lymph circulation is concerned, and so you want to make sure to give that area extra attention. Proceeding on to the other leg, same routine all the way around the lower leg, then up into the upper leg, back of the leg, buttocks, inner thighs, outer thighs, and again, paying extra attention to that dam in the river area of the groin crease. Obviously, this would be against bare skin as opposed to shorts if I were about to get into the shower. Then proceeding on to the arms, lower arms, wrists, elbows, back of your arm. Your armpit is an area that's similar to the groin in the sense that it can be an area where lymph kind of hangs up, and so you want to pay special attention to that area as well. The front of the neck is an area that can be kind of tender when you first start dry brushing. This may not feel comfortable or good. And if that's the case, just pay attention to the feedback your body's giving you. As your brush breaks in, however, and you become more accustomed to the technique, I think you'll find that you're able to do it comfortably, and that's definitely an area where dry brushing can be really helpful. And then paying special attention to the area right around the clavicles because that's a key area for moving lymph out of the lymph circulation and into the blood circulation. Now in the breasts, you're going to start from the nipple and work outward, sort of like the spokes on a wheel. This is definitely really beneficial for anyone who has any trouble with fibrocystic breasts or tender breasts or breasts that feel uncomfortable because of hormonal issues. Now in the abdomen, the lymph vessels are pretty deep, so we're just going to follow the movement of the colon. So starting at the point of your right hip and then moving up and then across the top of the abdomen and then down from the top of the abdomen to the point of the left hip. And then at the top of the abdomen, just brushing downward to help to facilitate the movement of food out of the stomach and bile out of the liver and gallbladder. Then getting up to your back, you may or may not be able to reach very well, but you're going to be moving from the spine out toward the tips of your shoulders and then from the lower back up. This is something where every couple of days when he's available at a convenient time, I just have my husband do this for me. So if you have a partner, that's great. If not, just do your best. And so that is the technique.